All of the praises to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bashmi Shah, Bashma Rakak Radash, and double honor to the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to the Yakim that they continue to further this ministry throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to those that are learning and listening and growing thereby, as well as the brother Mod could come. And the name of this lesson is going to be called "The Nations Were Not Counted to be Blessed in the Kingdom of Heaven, but to be slaves unto the sons of Israel." And I will first begin in reading Isaiah 40 verse 15. "Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing." So that's how the Lord sees the other nations, as a drop that falleth from the bucket. The drops of water. Okay? So let's read on. It says, "And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering." So you could burn all of the trees in Lebanon and burn all of the lambs or goats that are in Lebanon. Is not going to pave the way for the nations to be counted or blessed, just as Jacob is blessed. It says, "All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity." Let's read another scripture. This is 2 Ezra 6, verse 55. We'll begin there. "All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake." Let me go back up a little bit. It says, "And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. As for the other people that which came also of," let me read that again. "As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened them, the abundance of them, unto a drop that falleth from a vessel." So where's Ezra getting this from? He's getting it from what Isaiah said. Okay? "And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us." So the Lord have considered these other nations as nothing. So why would the Lord place the covenant, or should I say, why would they partake in the covenant of Jacob if the Lord counted them as nothing? This is the words out of the Bible. This is not me making up my own doctrine, or all of us as a collective of the camp of GMS. All right, we're just simply reading the scriptures, and that's all we're going with. The Lord is not going to then say, well, the other nations can now be counted after he just got done saying that they're nothing. That means that the Lord is a fickle power. That means you're saying that the Lord is a power that lies, that says one thing and does another thing. No, the Lord don't operate like that. The Lord says a word, all the words which comes out of the forth from the prophets, out of their mouths, which he speaks through them. Then he's going to actualize the words which are spoken. He will fulfill those words. Okay? So in the scriptures, it's very clear who the Lord has chosen, and it's very clear on who the Lord has not counted at all. And it's these other nations. Now let's get Revelations, the 11th chapter. Revelations 11 verse 1. "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the course which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. So this is again showing on how the Lord does not care about the other nations. So the court that was without the temple, measure it not, which is of the Gentiles, the natural other nations. And going back to 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter, as I just read, and I'll read it again. Verse 56. "As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle," in other words, spit, "and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel." Exactly. Okay. So the Lord likens them as nothing but likened unto spittle. Like when you spit, you don't look back at the spit. You just keep on moving, man. So that's how the Lord looks at the other people. And the reason why these other nations are here and their purpose is to serve us. Their purpose is to reverence us and to build us up. And I'll get that in a moment. So let me read this. This is Psalms 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So when Moses was in Mount Sinai for 40 days and for 40 nights, those laws, statutes, commandments he was getting while he was there to give it to the house of Israel. He didn't give those laws, statutes, and commandments to the Egyptians at the time. And as he did to the Egyptians, he flooded them out. He killed them. He put them to death and saved the sons of Israel. And the women of Israel, of course, but I say the sons of Israel because, obviously the man comes first when it comes to the scriptures and just nature in itself. All right. So the point is there, man. I mean, you could come with all kinds of things that you feel and believe or you have an opinion of, but the Lord is not dealing with how you feel or your opinions. The Lord is only concerned with what he wrote down and what he's going to fulfill concerning his counsel. All right. Now let's get Isaiah 60 verse 4. We're going to begin reading verse 4. It says, lift up thine eyes round about and see, all they gather themselves together. They come to thee, and thy son shall come from afar, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee, and the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. So in other words, we're going to see an abundance of people of all these other nations that will be converted unto us. That's why it says the sea. All right. Because there's going to be an abundance of people coming unto us, just like how there's an abundance of waters that you see in the sea. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian, in other words, those camels of Midian, among those Arabs, which are Ishmaelites, and Ephah, and all they from Sheba shall come, and they shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord. And all of the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Naboth shall minister unto thee, and they shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. In other words, they're going to glorify the children of Israel, which is the house of God. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? And surely the owl shall wait for thee, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy power, and unto the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified thee. In other words, the Lord's name will be placed upon Israel. So when these other nations get to giving us their goods, they're glorifying the Lord's house, because his name was placed upon that house. Or at that time, it's going to be known that we are the children of Israel. In other words, being the sons of God. From the outside looking in of these nations. So it says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, and they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. So this is the thing right here. That's all I pretty much have to read. I don't have to read anymore. These other nations are made purposely to serve, reverence, and glorify us. All right. And last but not least, but be our slaves as well as. So that's the role of the other nations. Their role is not to be as blessed as we are. Now, they'll be blessed through us, but they're not going to be blessed on our level, as what Vocab dreams about, which he can only but do anyway. Because it's just a dream. It's not reality. It's not going to be actualized, what he thinks and his opinions. What's going to be actualized in the reality of things in this physical realm one day is us being glorified and these other nations being put in their place. All right. So yeah, that's all I got to say, man. The other nations were not counted towards the Lord. The Lord doesn't see them as anything, but rather sees them as nothing. And their purpose is to serve us. All right. And to bless us. So anyway, that's all I have. Didn't want to make this too lengthy. I just wanted to make the point on this because I was supposed to read scriptures like these in my last video. So with that, officially I'm out. Shalom.